Hello everybody, my name is Maurice Button. I'm the CEO of City and Financial Global, and I'd like to welcome you to the latest in our series of speaker interviews. It's a great pleasure today to be interviewing Søren Mortensen, who's the Director of Global Financial Markets at IBM. And Søren will be speaking at our AI and Financial Services Summit in London on the 21st of November. Søren, welcome.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Very good to have you with us. There's been a great deal of debate about the need to strike a balance between protecting consumers and possibly society as a whole on the one hand, and ensuring that we reap the huge potential benefits that AI can offer business and the financial world and the capital markets on the other. Where do you think this balance should be struck, and why?
Well, it's something that we've been looking at in capital markets, especially around data monetization and bringing inside data, which is often based on clients' data. The balance that we have done in capital markets is really be looking at how do we anonymize the data in such a way that you can't reconstruct who the client who's providing the data actually is, while still having analytical value and monetary value in the data. So this is something that we've been working on, and we have successfully implemented with several clients, where we have a very, very deep level of data anonymization. And IBM actually worked with MasterCard on this, and set up a joint company called Truata in order to ensure that the anonymization of the data was done in such a way that you still have analytical value and monetary value. The second point I would make, and this is taking a hat where I'm a former advisor to ESMA's Financial Innovation Stand-Up Committee, is there's also a regulatory aspect to this. And certainly we see more and more industry-wide activities where we are looking at the ethics around AI, we're looking at the usage of AI. And I think the industry as a whole has a responsibility to strike that balance in conjunction with the regulators, to ensure that on one side, you can leverage the AI and get the benefits out of the AI, while still, on the other hand, protecting the consumer, their personal information, and what have you.
Okay, very, very interesting. And more generally, just sort of stepping back from that a little bit, obviously, many commentators have spoken about the impact of AI on society, but what about the impact of AI more broadly on financial services as an industry? Do you think that AI will reshape it dramatically, and which developments are likely to be the most profound in terms of financial services?
I think in terms of reshaping financial markets, I think it will be a combination of technologies and not just AI. And we see a combination of AI, blockchain, quantum, that will ultimately reshape the industry. But it's clear that AI is taking a much more prominent role in various areas. Point one, on providing much more better customer insight, enabling the financial institutions to personalize financial instruments and interact much better with their clients in terms of providing financial services. The same way, leveraging AI for financial crimes, certainly the AI enables us to provide much more insight into patterns, behavioral patterns in the market that help detect potentially fraudulent activities. Then ranging through to how do we leverage AI to automate processes and enable significant cost reductions by having AI-enabled processes. For example, here I'm thinking post-trade processes that can be AI-enabled and certainly add additional cost savings to the financial institutions by leveraging the technology.
So a huge range of potential use cases. And are you seeing the financial services clients of IBM rapidly embracing the large language models such as ChatGPT and derivatives of that as a sort of first stage towards this? And is that going well? Is it successful? Are they getting benefits now?
Absolutely. We start with the technology department, enabling them to leveraging the large language models in, for example, processing large legal documents. So we have been experimenting with, for example, syndicated loan documents for a very, very long time in order to capture the right information from these very, very complex documents and ingest that in systems through to, for example, today, where we have clients who are leveraging the technology to read emails and from clients and basically provide an automated solution to how to respond to these emails, process the client request and what have you, leveraging that. So we see that we're seeing a huge growth in the applicability of that across a broad section of the market.
Yeah, so it really is a game changer for financial services. But going back for a moment to you mentioned cybersecurity as being one of the areas where AI could be beneficial. But what about the other side of that? I mean, with fairly sophisticated cyber criminals out there, do you think AI is going to increase the efficacy of those threats and cause major problems?
But clearly, by being more interconnected, you are subject to more threats, and there, I would say, it's not just the AI; it's just that whole thing with financial markets being more and more connected, but in a different way than we used to be with specific networks and what have you. It's a more ecosystem type connection, much more sharing of data across multiple ecosystems and what have you. So clearly, cybersecurity is a key issue when you're opening up the financial institution to all these ecosystems. What we are looking at is we are looking at not only AI models, but also quantum models and quantum architectures, for example, to future-proof the bank's architecture from quantum attacks in the future. And that's something that we see a lot of interest for from our clients, and certainly we have many clients who are exploring that the combination of quantum, AI, and other technologies to ensure that the financial institution is not only protected today, but also in the future.
Fascinating, the power of quantum physics. I mean, I suppose that points away. Unfortunately, we're running out of time, so this is the last question. But I remember somebody saying to me recently that AI is it's the worst it's going to be. It's always going to improve and get better and more sophisticated. But where do you think the next range of AI models will take us? You know, what do you anticipate as being the likely improvements for the next generation?
Yeah, well, where we're seeing is, and where I'm involved these days, is all the predictive analytics. For example, in post-trade, to ensure that you predict issues with transactions and ensuring that these are dealt with so that you don't have, for example, settlement errors. So I do see the models enabling automate processes much more than they have been today. I also see in the other part of financial markets law, in the front office, that more and more what I call unstructured data is being used in decision makings on, for example, pricing and what have you. And I think that's certainly in an area where we're going to see even more growth and more data being used. And that would also change the way financial markets will construct the products that they offer to their clients and the services that they offer to their clients. So I see AI driving a transformation of financial markets, but it's not just the only technology that will enable that transformation.
Yeah. Very interesting. Sadly, we've run out of time, Søren, but that was absolutely fascinating. And to our viewers, if you'd like to hear more about these issues and related issues, I very much hope you'll be able to join us in person at the AI and Financial Services Summit in London on the 21st of November. Just remains to say thank you, Søren, for sharing those thoughts and insights with us.
Thank you.